Yo, what's going on, guys? It is co-host Kyle here. So just going through the editing process, we have really great audio from the mixer, about only 2 to 3 minutes ish in, and then unfortunately the mixer died. So we do have the audio from the camera itself. You will notice just a change in the audio. We are going to try our best to, match it up, but of course it's not quite the same. Either way, appreciate you understanding. It's a really great episode 7 that we have with men's basketball coming up, and thank you for your support. We've really been hearing a lot about it, and just again, thank you so much for it. It really means a lot to us. Thanks. Yo, what is good, NYU? It is good to be back. You are listening to Silence Behind the Violence podcast, episode number 7?
Yeah.
Number 7. Kai, who do we got today?
We have Zay Freeney and Cinqué Stevens from NYU men's basketball. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Most definitely. So, as mentioned last week, I was in San Antonio representing NYU at the NCAA convention. While in San Antonio, I got to see the Spurs versus the Warriors at the Alamo Dome. 68,000 people, historic, most ever for an NBA game. And the reason I bring that up, for context as to why I wasn't here last week, is also to lead into our opening prompt, which is the fact that when I was there, I was like, yo, 68,000 people for a basketball game. And the intro was so cool. It was the coolest sports moment I've ever saw in my life. So I was curious for you two, what was the coolest sports moment or game that you saw live?
I say, well, first I gotta shout out my pops. When I was 2 or 3 years old, I was able to go see the Lakers and Suns in the playoffs. Kobe was playing. So I don't remember that, but I was there. I know I was there. So that was awesome. One I remember is probably when when Katie and Russ were still on OKC, seeing them play. That was my favorite duo back in the day. So seeing them play was really a goal of mine, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I took a boys trip a few years ago to Houston and watched the Rockets play. And I was when James Harden was MVP type season. He had maybe 64 points or 60 something.
One of those.
And it was the most boring 60 points I'd ever seen.
Really?
It was maybe 25 free throws.
Oh, yeah, prime.
And just
That's prime.
I was like, this is
hard.
boring. How is this 60 points? And but it was really cool to watch in person. It was a great game. So.
Well, Kyle, was the Alamo Dome, did that take the cake for your best moment?
Yeah, that's all time. I've seen some sick Yankee games.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Stuff like
if,
that.
If any Yankee playoff games or something.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah,
Yankee fans are the worst of all time. I'll openly say that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was insane.
Still never been to a Yankees game. Gotta go.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
bro. In the summer,
cool.
going a Thursday night for
Right.
$19. It's at field level.
That's easy work. Yeah, that's easy.
For
Move.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up this Harden game. What year was it that you said?
I have no idea.
18, 19-ish?
Had to
Who were they playing? Do you remember that? Knicks, Spurs, Hawks, Magic?
Might have been 2020, somewhere in there.
Got you. No, I was just
Yeah.
looking it up.
Yeah.
It's he has 460 pieces.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was
2 of which have 20 plus free throws made. So, anyways, as far as your upbringing go, everyone has their story as what got them into their sport, who got them into their sport. Cinqué, we'll start with you. What/who got you into basketball?
Definitely my dad. I was 5 years old. Basketball was my second sport. Played soccer first, fell in love with that, but 7 to 8 games where it's 30 degrees outside just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So I opted for indoor sport, started playing basketball, and been playing ever since. Yeah.
So, played soccer.
Absolutely.
For me, it was really just my dad also. My dad was my coach from age 2 until I was a freshman in high school. My trainer and my coach. So, just being in the gym with him all the time, building that work ethic, was really big for me. And now that I'm able to play college and see him happy that I'm here, that's really patting myself on the back moment. So that's been pretty awesome.
That's so.
Shout out to the dads.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I started playing. The first sport I started playing was soccer too, and my mom just enrolled me in it. I was like, good looks, because now I just love how much you're talking team sport values, that's stuff that you can't even simulate from life. Another thing that you brought, or rather, when you brought up how you got into basketball, I was curious how you guys each picked your numbers. So 0 to 20, 30.
So my first number was 99 for Lightning McQueen. But first grade to 4th grade for sure, and then I was number 11 because my birthday is on the 11th, and then in high school I realized that my name means 5 in Italian, so I started rocking 5. And then when I got to college, the smallest jersey that was available was number 0, and I was like, I'm going with 0.
So you're 7 years old wearing 99.
I'm just surprised you got to pick your number at that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
was
good.
able to, yeah.
Okay.
I started off, I was number 3 for a long time just because my favorite number was 3. I didn't have a player or anything related to it. Like, I guess D Wade, but like I wasn't really that big of a D Wade fan. High school, I wore 10 because both my parents wore 10 in their high school when they played in high school sports. So that was, sentimental for me. And then I got here, freshman year, last jersey, because I'm a freshman, was 23. So, and I just felt like it fit perfect, So it sticks. They call me 2-3 on the team, stuff like that. So it sticks. So I think I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. Our PA announcer has to incorporate like a Zay Freeney on a 3-ball.
Sometimes they have it.
I mean, half the time they pronounce my name wrong. So that's a big step.
We'll get that straight
We'll
down.
see. Yeah.
That's true. Kai, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. I mean, you guys both started early, but when did you kind of realize you were going to be able to play college basketball? When did that hit?
I'll say probably my sophomore year it hit me. I was able to blessed to work with a great trainer in Arizona by the name of Tony Miller, and I worked out with Dalen Terry, who plays for the Chicago Bulls now. Really proud of him. He's having a great rookie year. And Timmy Allen, who's at the University of Texas right now, apparently. They used to bust my ass like that. They used to get after me. But then when I score or I hit a 3 and we're going like 1-on-1 stuff like that, I'm like, I can play with these guys. These are high level guys. These are the guys I'm striving to beat. So just battling against them every day was really something that made me like, yo, I can do this.
For me, it was much later on. 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade year, I was like, above average compared to like my peers, but there was no like name recognition that I had, especially like Texas is big, so if you're good, like, everybody knows. So it's probably going into my senior year. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I played a kid who's now playing at Oklahoma State, and like absolutely killed him. Like he couldn't guard me. I was doing whatever I wanted to do, and I remember I was like checking in at the scores table, and the coach asked me, he was like, "Hey, where are you committed?" And I was like, "I don't have any offers." And he was like, "Don't worry, like you'll be all right." And that's when I was kind of like, okay, I think like I'll be able to play at this level. So that was it for me.
Kyle's over here fact checking.
Yeah. Does this individual level remain unnamed? Where I don't know if you know, but a single digit number.
I believe so.
Okay, I'm looking it over. I'm looking at him. I ain't gonna say. Okay, that's funny. Actually, I wanted to bring this up. It was late last night. Say on your story last night, you posted that you were playing with Rihanna in like 5th grade.
Insane.
Need to know that story.
Yeah.
That's so fire. Need to know.
So like Rihanna's from California, I'm from Arizona. So growing up, we'd be at the same camp. So that was the video I posted last night was from Ball of Life camp, held in California, like one of the biggest on the West Coast. And like my parents, they filmed everything. They always filmed everything with me growing up, of course. And then we played together. We actually stayed in touch this entire time. Like growing up, we've always been in touch. Our families have followed each other. I've checked in on him. He's checked in on me. And then it was kind of funny when Rihanna was getting recruited to NYU. He was like, "Yo, Zay, like I might come." I was like, "What?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, I'm here in Arizona. The coach is talking to me. Like, what do you think?" And of course, I told him like, "Let's do it. Like, we gotta team up."
Right.
So just being able to pull that video up just shows like just how hard we both worked to get here. And it's just a great memory. I think
That's so talk about full circle.
full circle
Yeah,
from
sure.
5th grade.
That's
That was
fire.
5th grade.
That's crazy. Always in the cards. That's so. You guys each talk about like your different paths through basketball coming up, as far as actually playing at the college level. What drew you to NYU itself?
Wow, it's a lot of things. For me, it was majority of my friends and people from like back home stayed in like the Texas, Oklahoma State area. So I was like, I want to do something different.
Absolutely.
And majority of the schools that were recruiting me were on the East Coast, so I figured I'd end up over here. And like it was just such a big brand name globally. I didn't know they even had a basketball team, if I'm being honest. Before I got recruited, I had to ask my coach. I was like, "Hey, I got accepted. Like, does NYU have a basketball team?" He's like, "Yeah, they do." And so he texted or emailed the coach, and the next day, coach called me and said, "Hey, I watched some film on you. Like, we'd love to have you." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll think about it." But for me, it came down to being in New York City. It's like, worst case scenario, I can't play basketball anymore. Where would I want to be at school? NYU, New York City.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd say I really wanted to go the Division I route in high school, of course. But then my junior year, COVID hit. So I played 15 and 16U AAU for Compton Magic, and then I was gearing up for a big, junior year AAU, which is supposed to be like the primary year you get recruited by colleges, and then shut down. Everything shut down. So I was at a stand, like halt. Like, what am I gonna do? So I was just in the gym, slowly sending out my daily workout videos to college coaches, all college coaches, like any level, just to get a look. And then finally, NYU hit me. I didn't even know NYU was a school, and like 2 or 3 months before I committed, so that was crazy. that was crazy. I had no familiarity with NYU at all.
Right.
And then my mom did a lot of research, and education, of course, number one in the world. And I had never been to New York City like that before, so it was something I wanted to do for myself. And I looked into like the UAA conference, and it's one of the best. It is the best Division III conference, I think, in the country. So every weekend's a battle. So I think with all those components combined, I was like, yeah, I'm coming. Like I gotta go. So it was crazy ride to get here, but I'm glad I'm here. Yeah.
And then once you guys got here, what was your welcome to college moment? Where someone just like bust your ass or something, whether it's practice or in a game, it could be your own teammate, like a senior, that first year, that you were like, oh, I'm here now.
Okay. I got a teammate, and I got who we played against. I'll say Big Bobby Hawkinson.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure. That's a welcome to life.
That's a welcome to life. Yeah, like 6'10", like
right.
235, 240. Like he was a monster, absolute monster. Like having to get switched onto him, or like getting hit by a screen by him, even like sent you back a few seconds there. But he was also a great teammate, and he's playing professionally right now in Austria, and he's doing great for himself, and I'm really happy for him, and we stay in touch. So shout out to Bob, shout out Big Bob. And then I'd say probably he's in the G League right now. He plays for the Warriors G League team, Jack Nolan. He came out, I think we were at Wash, he played at WashU. We were at WashU. I think he had like 22 first half points on us. Efficient, like maybe like 7 for 8 on me. I wasn't gonna say who was guarding him, but
right.
But yeah, go ahead, Cinqué.
I didn't really have a welcome to college moment until we got into the season. Not gonna lie, like it was like I knew players. Well, I underestimated how good guys were gonna be. But once I kind of got in the flow of things, I'm just like, okay, I can play at this level for sure. But similar to you, it was Jack Nolan at WashU, and before the game, coach said, you're probably gonna guard him. I wasn't playing much at the time, like I did.
Right.
That was one of the first games I got to play a lot of minutes, and 22 at halftime, and coach was like, you're doing a great job. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, because
that's not a good job.
You gotta think that coming off that COVID year, that was both of our freshman year pretty much. They didn't have a season his freshman year, so we're both coming in like, what to expect? Who we were playing against, and seeing that was
And he's 5'10".
Yeah,
and he's not like super athletic, but
he played like that.
Does not miss. Like
Short king.
it's
A
great.
little bit of space.
It's like, I mean, I just looked up Jack Nolan, dubbed the Division III Curry, end quote. He was he committed to WashU as a D3 legacy. His uncle, Gene Nolan, had a storied career for the Bears from 92 to 96. Is in the record book for most career threes. And the two of them played under the same coach, former head coach Mark Edwards. Kind of fire.
That's a legacy.
I mean, if somebody's lighting it up against you, I guess good dude to have that happening.
Glad it was only a 1 year thing.
Yeah, that was like a crazy. It's funny too because just going back to the 1G to NYU. You said it's a global brand. You said that you didn't know it was a school until like 6-8 days.
So similarly, I didn't know it was school either.
Yeah, well,
after I got in,
right.
My mom made me apply because she heard the medical school was free. So I applied just so I could go hang out with my friends. And upon acceptance, I looked at the school and was like, "Oh, it's a good school."
Right.
So I had no idea.
Do they have a team?
Yeah.
Imagine getting a free display club. We talked about welcome to college moment, welcome to New York City moment. This is a very wild place. I'll be the first to say that. So, Cinqué, what was it for you?
I already know what you're gonna say. Go ahead. There's a lot of stories, but I guess there's kind of like two things. First thing, when I never had been to New York City until I moved like here for school, and so I was expecting this very like glamorous city, and it was just dirty. Yeah, and I was like, this is like gross.
Yeah.
I remember trying to get a taxi. Me and my mom got out of Penn Station and tried to get a taxi down to my apartment. And every taxi driver was like, oh, ask the guy behind me, ask the guy. I'm like, yeah, like, what is this? But last year I was like walking home later at night, and this guy was sitting on like a brownstone, like a stick, just like tapping it. And I was always making a pretty cool beat. And as I walked by him, he screams at me. And then I like freak out, kind of jump back, and he starts chasing me. So he chases me a block and then just stops. And that was kind of traumatizing for for the next 2 days.
How fast was the 40 that you ran up the block?
I was very fast. I was like running in the hotel hallway as a kid. That was fast.
Right.
I say for me, of course, you're gonna get like the homeless guy chasing you or like screaming at you.
Of course.
I gotta say, probably we had a game last year. We were on the way as a whole team. We were on the subway traveling to a game in Brooklyn, and it ended up being that on both ends of the subway we were taking, that there were human feces on both ends.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so everyone had to hop off the subway and catch the next one pretty much. They made the announcement like there's human feces front and back, everyone off. I was like, and we're as a team, we're all in our jumpsuits, we're ready to go. We're all in game mode, headphones in. We're like, wait, what? What's going on right now? So that was definitely welcome.
That was to you this morning. I thought you were saying.
No, I was talking about the same story.
Yeah. Could you imagine that announcement though? Like next time Borough Hall, by the way, we have human feces on the train.
Yes, we need you.
Same thing with those doors.
Immediately. Yeah, that was crazy.
Conversely, though, which on that same note of New York City, go to New York City food spots. What do you got for us?
Cinqué got you first.
Well, I have a lot. If anyone knows me, I like to go out to eat, but I don't want to sound like too bougie. I don't want to name any like very generic places. So when I do with Gramercy Kitchen, their chocolate chip pancakes are absolutely amazing. I think they ate them before every game last year. That's a great place. This is common, like Joe's Shanghai. I think anywhere in Chinatown is really good food. Joe's Pizza, I guess it's a Joe's thing. But
Marinara's the best pizza, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Clearly that TikTok hit numbers, so I think the audience is well aware. Gramercy Kitchen, $2 signs. I like that. See?
very,
people.
yeah,
You know?
nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
I like that. What do you got there?
Jeez, I'm forgetting. Alright, I'm not gonna go with that one. I forgot the name of it. Honestly, if I'm being honest with the people right now, I need to go outside more. I really just get our dining halls that we have at NYU, and I get Chick-fil-A. That's about it.
What's your go-to sauce there?
Oh, my mom put me on when I was little. So you got ranch, and it comes in a package. It's called honey roasted barbecue. Take the honey roasted barbecue, put it in the ranch, mix that together. Best sauce at Chick-fil-A.
Where does your Chick-fil-A sauce?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No.
Chick-fil-A Polynesian.
Not the same. Chick-fil-A sauce is a little bland and just like right there. But like it adds an extra kick to it. Trust me, people.
I mean, that's a take. I ain't gonna say if it's hot or cold, but it is a take.
It's a take that needs to be, experimented with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back.
Let me have birria tacos. I DoorDash that a lot.
Oh, birria all time.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Gotta get the consomme too.
Absolutely.
Hit action.
Absolutely.
I'm getting number 0 jersey from the bookstore right now. Solid. On the food subject, Kyle, before I turn it over to you, on the food subject, food spots that are available at home in your home states, so just like name what those are, that aren't available here.
I'll let Zay go first, so I don't steal one of his.
I say two that come to mind immediately are called oreganos and spinatos. Those are both Italian food. Really good pizza. Spinatos is known for like their spaghetti calzone. So fire.
That sounds wild.
So
It's
fire.
in Arizona.
In Arizona.
Wow, spaghetti
Indeed.
calzone.
And then I got oreganos because they got like that. Their pizookie, their pizza cookies, so fire. Do that with the fam. The chicken Caesar salad, fire. Those are the two that come to mind. I miss it a lot. I haven't been there in a while. So.
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty easy because every time I go home, I get the same. Like I go to the same 4 places. So one, I go to Canes. I think there's one coming to Astor Place this year,
That's
so I'm
nice.
excited
Yeah.
about that. Best Texas toast ever.
Yeah.
Facts. In-N-Out. It's a great burger. Fries are horrific, but burger is very solid.
Burger carries.
Yeah. And in terms of like Texas food, Texas barbecue, there's a place like far north in Prosper called Tender Smokehouse, I believe. Yeah. And it's owned by Torrey Hunter, who like played in MLB.
Yeah.
Actually,
Torrey with 2 eyes.
yeah. Met him a few times, played a few rounds of golf with him, so great guy.
Okay, yeah, we gotta get into
Yeah,
that.
so sure.
Hunter is like an all-time outfielder. One of my favorite players growing up.
Yeah, so
How did that come about?
so my dad plays in a golf group with a bunch of kind of notable people. So I played with like Spud Webb, Michael Finley, a lot of like NFL guys.
Just
a lot
a few
of
names.
Yeah, it's
nothing
like,
crazy. A few guys playing golf.
Yeah, exactly.
but it's fun to play with those guys. Torrey Hunter hits the ball far.
Yeah.
His hips work really well.
Yeah, they don't lie.
Not at all.
Love that.
So that's Smokehouse, and then I have to go with like some Cajun, like Louisiana style seafood. There's a place called the Boiling Pot, and there's a place called the Boiling Crab, like outside of Dallas, that are very good.
That actually reminded me of something. Shout out to Ankin Crab in Arizona. Great seafood.
Yeah.
Great seafood. Great
Right.
salmon.
Now, is this more of an occasion place, or are you just going like on a Friday night?
You can go on a Friday night. I mean, it hits the stomach pretty hard after. I'll say that. So whatever you're thinking,
I think Raising
Good
Cane's
though.
is coming to Times Square. I think it's coming to Times
No, I
Square.
thought they're gonna have two. They're gonna have two
Is it?
locations.
Two.
Got
I
to.
need that. I'll take their sauce into the vein, bro.
Yeah.
I'll take that via IV.
Yeah, we were just in Chicago and St. Louis, and
Yeah.
they both had Raising Cane's, and I definitely ordered Raising Cane's 2 times in 2 different states.
You're totally right. Raising Cane's is bringing the fried chicken fingers to Astor Place per this headline. Oh, it's replacing the Walgreens. That was.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
10
a-
Astor Place on Lafayette Street.
It's a
Yeah,
big
that's
Canes.
a
They're just
huge
replacing
Yeah,
Walgreens.
4,300 square feet. That rent's got to be like $1 billion. It's a lot of chicken tenders. It's gonna be, yeah. Men's basketball team will always go pay for the road. So.
Yeah,
And I do.
Yeah, facts, right? If you're watching, we know that you are. You're not lying.
Need that.
But back to we're in the middle of the season right now too. So back to the group a little bit. I mean, even from my perspective, being around the team both years, a little bit more this year,
Right.
there's a different sense, a different feeling, energy, the spirit, upbeat. So just talk about the closeness of the team. Like, how have you guys come together? What's this year like as far as just like the bond that you guys have?
Yeah, I think especially for the returner guys, it's like a fresh start really. So bringing in the freshmen, bringing in transfers like Sav and Spence is huge. And we knew how close the players were last year, so we wanted to continue that experience and just make sure that we're all there for each other. We do everything pretty much together. If you see one of us, you don't see a lot of us. So, and that's just like out and about, and on the court, just communication is the most important for us. So that's been a huge thing, and we've had great leadership with Coach Klasky, Coach Mo, Coach Chris, Ethan, and yeah, go ahead, Cinqué.
Yeah, I think, this year we're all, bought in on what we want to do as a team. We want to win games. We want to, win the UAA, finish towards the top, and make the NCAA tournament. And I think that we're all very unselfless in chasing that. Guys 1 through 15. Whether it's the freshmen, pushing us in practice and sometimes beating us.
Absolutely.
It's like, it happens. And then also, like, if you want to just look at scoring, right? Like, you never know on our team who's going to go off that night. It could be, any one of us. And, we're all happy for each other as long as we're winning games. That's what we want to do. Watching extra film with coaches, getting individual workouts in. So this year we're really treated like a legit basketball program that wants to win games, and we should respect the game that way.
Yeah. Talking about scoring a little bit here. I had dropped a career high 31 points first grade. Yeah, whoop-de-whoop.
Yes.
And then it's just Mr. Stevens here comes back and drops how much you drop?
I don't remember.
33.
33 that'll do me. So he's got a little bragging rights right now. So
I was saying to Zay, if it doesn't get in foul trouble, I don't play. That's all.
27 next week.
sheesh.
Actually before.
Before. I knew they were back to back.
Yeah.
Well, Zay's 31 came in like basically 3 quarters, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Basically.
But anyway, Cinqué got the career high right now. So
Is that the team high this year for like the single?
it's gotta be. Yeah, it's gotta be.
That'll be broken by somebody. For sure.
Maybe this week.
The scoring goes down when you're in UAA.
Absolutely.
These final scores are low.
Yeah. I think it just really comes from like the pace of the teams they're playing. You know, they use the shot clock a lot. They run their sets a lot. You know, they really just drill in like their plays. Like they don't really want that fast break. Honestly, they're coming down. You know, getting the matchup they want, and that's really just emphasizes the point for us. Every possession matters. You know, every single possession matters. So you know, that's been a key focus for us, especially going into this weekend. We got 2 top 25 teams coming in, ready to, you know, they don't care what we're going through, what's happened in the past. They're ready to come beat us. So we're excited. We're ready to go.
For sure.
Even you just mentioning the shot clock though. Arizona high school, that correctly, they just don't have a shot clock.
I had never played with a shot clock until I got here.
Oh my god.
No shot.
Same thing here.
Yeah,
No
same
shot
thing.
clock in Texas.
In Texas?
I
What are you
remember.
guys doing?
Yeah, like what, do people like just hold the ball when they're
Yes, my
Yeah,
team.
like for like a minute.
Yeah, I mean, in high school we were up, you know, 20 points in like first quarter. Teams were still sitting in the zone. We're home. I think we held it
Let's
like
lower that team.
like 6 minutes and 30 seconds out of like an 8-minute quarter. Like, it's that crazy.
Like that's not even a basketball.
yeah,
What are we doing?
I was, like we were winning, so like wasn't.
I mean, yeah, no, I would do the same thing if I was that coach, but like,
How does the crowd receive that?
yeah, it was crazy. It was
Like,
hectic.
like,
It was-
are the bleachers like, come on, like
they're, I mean,
shoot the ball.
It was a home game for us, so I'm happy it was an away game for us. We were holding
Right.
the ball. I know it would have been crazy, but you know they were just telling like, come guard, like come out and guard us, you know, like so.
does that cause like for both of y'all? Does that cause the pace of the game to be really slow, or do teams still run a bit?
Yeah.
I think it varies game to game. I'd say relatively a lot of teams in Texas play pretty fast. You have a select few that don't. But like it definitely like was something I had to get used to when I got here. Like looking up like, oh, there's 10 seconds left and you have to get a shot up. Like that was never a thing in high school.
Right.
So
Like that, or like playing for like 2-for-1s is definitely
Yeah.
something that I'm still trying to get adjusted to.
Right.
You know, like playing the clock game and
Yeah.
just coming down, you know, get that extra shot up, quick shot up, so they have to come full down, waste a full shot clock, and come back last shot. So stuff like that wasn't like that in high school.
Yeah. You mentioned the 2-for-1. One of the most ridiculous things that caught fire on like NBA Twitter and YouTube. It's like we talked about the JJ Redick podcast earlier about Jason Tatum talking about the 3-for-2.
Yeah.
He's like, I
Yeah.
never heard of 3-for-2 before. Chris Paul, he's just a G. But then everyone like comments just trolling like, I never heard of a 5-for-4. Stupid. It is so stupid.
That's right. No, yeah, the point,
But it's true,
The
though.
point did sound like it was a good point at first. Like the jokes were hilarious. I did see that too.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
you should have like 110 when they come back down. Yeah, I mean all the shot clock note though, like you said, like you had so like does it, or rather no, it's not so much shot clock. This is my question. Like regions and their style of play. So like I'll preface this by saying that one of my boys from Massachusetts, that's where I went to school. He came to Barclays Center a couple years ago when we were still in undergrad and watched the game. He's like, yo, I don't know what it is about New York, but it felt like that entire crowd was on edge, just waiting for a crossover, waiting for something to happen. Right? Obviously, pro level is different, but like New Yorkers are just like they're all looking for the cross, right?
Absolutely.
Like the ankle breaker, the hezzy, whatever. The Arizona style of play, the Texas style of play. Is there a way in which you can kind of personify it at all?
I think Texas is completely different, man. The Texas is huge. You talk about.
Okay.
I can speak better for AZ because like playing in Texas is like I don't know. I'd like to think that we're like pretty gritty. We play hard. Guys can dribble, guys can shoot. I think it's a pretty mixed style of play. Where if I talk about like AC in California, y'all are soft. Like, he was like building up to that.
What do you mean by that?
I love playing like that, like West Coast teams in AAU in high school because I'm like they're soft.
30 piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that an attack? Am I getting attacked?
Awesome.
Clip it.
Okay, I guess go with the Texas toughness. I guess that's the way to go. But I say the biggest difference is Arizona can shoot, West Coast can shoot. And I came out east. We were playing like high school tournaments. We come out east for AAU, and we play like East Coast teams. Like none of these guys can shoot. They always want to go downhill. They all want to dribble and stuff like that. But yeah, we shoot it. We shoot, we play fast. So I think that's the biggest difference I've seen is just the shooting ability.
Yeah, well, Kai, you've played at these New York City parks, having lived here for several years now.
Yeah.
It's all double rims.
Yeah,
right?
bro.
So with double rims, you ain't shooting.
It's
You're
tough.
driving to the basket.
It's
Like
tough.
Kenny Smith does that. He's from Queens. Kenny Smith, who's like, NBA TNT,
Yeah.
won a trip with the Rockets, played for a few other teams. But like, yeah, like he's like, yeah, I'm from Queens. Like, all the rims was messed up, but like we could drive though. Like it's like undersized cars and all that. So.
No, that reminds me of last year when I first got here. It's probably welcome to the New York City moment. It was like moving day into the dorms. There were a few of us on the team that were already here in the city. We all wanted to link up. We went to West Fourth. And play.
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary. So we hop out there. We won probably like 3 or 4 games in a row, and then like crowd starts forming.
Gosh.
And we're like, all right, yeah, like this is cool. This is cool. Old head step on the court, playing against us, just hack city, man.
Yeah.
Absolute hack city.
My guess is tank top, denim shorts, oversized, wheat Timbs. Not far off.
I wish it was. I wish it was wearing Tim's.
But the top and the bottom.
Top and bottom.
Yeah. Anyway, so
but
it
yeah,
work.
like we're playing, and like our main goal is not to get hurt.
Yeah.
we gotta be ready to go.
You're going like 80%.
80%. Like
Tops.
these are old heads. They're not even in the same bracket as us.
Right.
We had to actually call the game. It was getting too intense out there. Like
Really?
2 minutes. Yeah, like 2 minutes. Taking us on the sky. Shout out Nick Lip. I know Nick Lip was getting into it.
Yeah, was it?
Nick
What was
Lip
he
was getting
saying?
into it.
What was he saying?
No, he actually wasn't saying anything. Like, it was just like just the old heads were just trying to impose their will on us, and we were like, yeah, like this is not how we're going to do this. We're just here to play. So we actually had to end up leaving the park, I guess. So,
Right.
that was a funny story.
That's actually where I met Zay Freeney for the first time.
No way.
Like by chance, I was driving down the road, like moving to my apartment. I'm like, oh look, like it's a basketball court. I'm like, oh, that looks like my team.
He looks soft. Yeah.
Arizona kid, soft ass Arizona kid.
So I get out of the car, walk over, says up to the guys, and it's like, me and Zay are kind of like eyeing each other, like sizing each other
Yeah,
up.
never met
Like,
each other.
who is this kid? So that was my first time meeting him.
Right.
I think that's something that's been great about like me and Cinqué's relationship. Like we've always just been pushing each other since like first time we saw each other. We're just pushing each other to do the best we possibly can. That competitive edge has helped us on the court tremendously.
Yeah, well, it was one time where I was like overlooking here at Palladium, like this into the court, and you two were shooting Chris Thompson, and like any shooting competitions that you guys get into, like before you, like Cinqué, like let's say we'll start with you for the shooting competitions that you have during practice or amongst yourselves. Like Kai and I do this thing that Steve Kerr and Steph Curry do, where it's just like with free throws, like you take 2 each, and if you make it all net, pure net, no rim, nothing at all, it's 2 points. If you make it, it's 1. Right? But so like not only does it drive you to make your free throws, but also be exact with it, something that's sustainable. Shooting competitions that you guys get into.
Yeah, so with CT, everything's shooting. So especially like that time, I guess you were overlooking me and Zay were doing like an individual with him. So obviously, he had won like Player of the Week a few like 2 weeks ago. I had just won it, so it was kind of like going at each other. But with him, it's like first like 6 makes.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like different footworks into different like spots. And then after that, we kind of went into like one-on-ones from different spots. I'll be honest, me and Zay split usually most of the time.
We split most of the time.
So I think that day I got him. I'm not gonna lie, but I remember the most recent workout. I'm pretty sure he got me about 1 or 2 games.
Right.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's always fun because it adds that like real game experience to our workouts. Like we're trying to make every shot matters. So yeah.
And I mean, speaking of Chris, of course, he's part of the new coaching staff this year. We're talking about the team and how close you guys are, but what about the coaches? I mean, how have they impacted the program already, or kind of adjusted what you guys do to fit the team? Yeah, just speak on that adjustment.
Man, they care. They really do care. They care a lot about us, a lot about this program, and that rubs off on us 100%. We give our all every day to play for them, and it's been a great experience just being able to. Their attention to detail has been excellent. I think that's something I've really taken away from this experience so far. Our scouting reports are in depth. We go days for scouts, and just the energy they bring. CT
Always.
yeah, always on 100, always on 100.
Yeah.
And he's great. So yeah,
For sure.
I guess like the biggest difference I've noticed is like it's a legit basketball program. Like last year, I was like basketball doesn't take that much time out of the day. Where this year I'm busy. Like I'm always doing something basketball related, and they are too. Like it's like I don't think they have personal lives. They're always doing watching film, doing stats. Like we were at the airport this past weekend, and all 4 coaches are lined up in a row, like watch you game doing advanced stats.
Yeah, the game you just played.
Yeah, like 2 hours after the game. So they're locked in. I think that trickles on down to us, and we're locked in as well. So.
Yeah, and I also say, add to Cinqué's point, like when practice is over, practice isn't over. We're still getting work in. Individual shots up, and they're there with us. So it means a lot. Yeah, shout out Coach Mo, shout out Slasky.
Yeah,
shout out CT.
most definitely. You talk about like attention to detail. Were there any like if you get like super granular with it, like let's say I'm a baseball guy and I play on the men's league god.
Facts.
Sunday Warrior, and like there's this dude that I train with, and he's like super minuscule, where you're just like, yo, like shift the weight on the ball of your foot so that it allows you to, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you get like any like super tiny cues from Chris on shooting or Mo on something else that like has definitely improved your game.
I say on the defensive end, 100%. Just little angles to take, how far I can be off my defender. I have longer arms so they really help me. Pause.
Right.
They really help me learn how to use that length. Pause. And just being in passing lanes and stuff like that. So for me, yeah.
Especially for a guy like you have all the physical tools to excel at defense end. So,
definitely.
For me with CTU is shot preparation, like getting my lower body prep before I catch the ball, which I never really done before to that extent. Just so I can kind of get it off quicker, so I'm in the mindset of catching and shooting, because I don't like to catch and shoot at all.
He does not like to catch and shoot at all.
For you, like, is it ball in the air, your feet are in the air? Because some people
on the pass,
two-step.
on the pass, feet are set, ready to go to my shot as soon as I catch it.
Gotcha.
Where typically I want to catch it, put the ball down. Now I'm thinking shot first, which I think is what most of us are thinking now, and that's how we play. So.
Absolutely.
I mean, you hit 8 threes in the game, you gotta hit some catch and shoot, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Talk about the coaching staff a little bit, just like game day superstitions or routines that you might have.
I can go ahead. I mean, it's like today, 7:30 p.m. game. I'll eat breakfast after I get my haircut after this.
That's right.
I might drink a smoothie maybe around 3 or 4 p.m. But until game time, it's straight candy.
That's not what I expected.
I don't like to be full whatsoever. And, I mean, I guess I keep eating it so the sugar crash doesn't happen during the game.
Right.
But up until the game, during the game, halftime, I usually finish whatever bag of candy I have. You can catch Coach Mo sneaking if you go embarrass out the bag, CT. But if you, that's one of my superstitions that I have.
What's in the candy rotation?
Well, it was gummy bears, but we lost a game, so we kind of switched that up.
Yeah, gummy
so I got
bears.
the watermelon Jolly Ranchers. But they're soft and squishy. So I got a 24 pack delivered to the house last night. So you can see those on the bench tonight.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. For me, in high school, I used to be a lucky pair of socks. They used to be lucky pair of socks. But now I'm off the crazy sock wave.
Yeah.
So now it's just double socks. I gotta wear double socks, or else I just don't feel right. And I also candy craze. Gotta have a bag of Skittles somewhere nearby. I keep the emergency bag of Skittles in my backpack at all times, so just in case.
Kai is closer in age to you guys than I am because I'm washed. But Kai, I know even having grown up in the small state of Rhode Island, that the elite sock, elite bag era was crazy.
Had to have it.
Yeah.
Every pair, mixed match colors.
Right.
If you didn't, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. Like that USA Team USA basketball elite bag over there. That thing can hold a lot of stuff. It literally transports this podcast.
Yeah.
I caught that at a Burlington for $17 2 years ago.
Fire.
That's a come on. So I might have, I might have given up my plug at the Union Square Burlington, but you know what? Married people.
Married people.
For sure.
Yeah, I remember the breast cancer elite.
Oh my God. It was $90.
Mom, I need Mom, what do you mean? I need.
I remember it was wild.
I need.
Cinqué, you had any flavors growing up? elite socks, or even like the KD tracksuit.
Well, I was into the
elite.
elite socks. Then before Stance, like there was like a field house like in Texas that most of like a lot of AU games were played at, and people like it was kind of like designing your own socks and print whatever you wanted on it. So I had like socks with like money on it, socks with like Kobe Bryant on it. Like so I just kind of got into random socks that didn't match my shoes, didn't match uniforms, but it was like just crazy socks.
That was the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Went through a headband era.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You rocked the headband this year?
I have it in game.
Oh yeah.
I have it in game. Yeah, maybe tonight.
Maybe tonight. You never know. Hey, you got the fresh cut though. You can't hide it. You can't hide the fresh cut.
Yeah, exactly. Got lined up 180 degrees.
Talk about socks. I used to wear knee-high Batman with the cape on the back.
I know exactly. I had the Superman ones.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yes.
That's funny, bro.
I even got spicy one time. I had one Batman, one Robin. That's how real I was. That was probably like 5th, 6th grade.
Yeah.
I was on it. I thought I was so good.
Well,
Shooting threes from half court, talking crazy.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Like I was gonna say, for real, Trey Young.
Yeah.
Never. The sock height. It's very polarizing because a lot of people, I would say like a large percentage, only rock crew socks. The crew height when they hoop. Ankle socks is wild. Quarter socks could be the happy medium. What height are you guys rocking?
I rock the regular ones.
Crew?
Crew.
Yeah.
If you're rocking ankle socks with a hoop, right, you're not supposed to be hooping.
It's a wild song. It's a wild time.
Yeah, no, sorry. If I'm wearing like low cut shoes, like some Kobe 8s, I'll rock the ankle socks. But nowadays, it's the crew socks roll down though. I don't like them that high up my like.
Yeah, scratch a little bit.
You gotta have some scrunch.
Yeah.
No, you know.
Yeah.
And we know.
Oh, we know over here.
Right. One of the lessons we actually formally prompted was the game day superstitions. Talk about the game day experience, particularly for you guys at Duke. The Duke experience. Why? Zay, what was it like?
It was such a surreal experience. Like, I remember we were walking up, so we stayed at the Duke Hotel on campus, and then in the morning we had shoot around at Duke's practice facility, right? So we're walking through campus, and then we hit like the security checkpoint, right? And none of us know where we're going, so like security guard comes up, so it was like, whoa, where are you guys going? Like, what are you guys doing here?
Right.
And I swear, out of the side door in one of the buildings, Coach K comes out, calls Sad's name, waves him over. Security like, oh, y'all are with him. I'm like, and it was just so crazy. Like, Coach K is such an amazing coach, Hall of Fame, this, that, the GOAT. And he was such a great guy to us, so nice and honest with us. He told us he had watched more NYU games than Duke games. And so yeah, we're currently 2-0 when he's in attendance. He came to watch us in Virginia, and he came to watch us in Chicago, which is that was a packed house in Chicago, that was a great win for us. And you know he cusses a lot. He cusses a lot, but he also spreads a great message every single time he talks to us. And another surreal moment was when we were at the Chicago game. We're getting ready to run out onto the court, and then we see Coach K and his wife. They come to the entrance, and he shook all our hands like it was a normal day. I'm like,
That's so dope, man.
this is not normal at all. Like, this is not normal.
Yeah.
So just shout out Coach K, man. Awesome.
So before that, he was in Roanoke, and he played Hanover the first game. And after the game, we were talking about it, and Zay had no idea the whole game that Coach K was there, right behind him. He had no idea.
I still to this day think that they were playing a prank on me. Like, I did not see him in this game.
Because he was locked in on the game. But we got to do, I wasn't able to practice or shoot around. I was going through some like knee injuries, but because of that, I got to kind of meet with their strength staff, their sports scientists,
They took care of
their
us, man.
athletic trainers. So I kind of got like a little tour of like the whole facility while these guys were practicing. Got some one-on-one time with Coach K. Got the code of the gym now at Duke, so I guess I'm valid there.
That's facts. Word anytime.
Wow.
But it was a great experience, had a lot of fun. You know, got to go to a game in Cameron for the first time.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was really cool. But overall, great experience. You know, definitely very blessed to have sat on the team and have that be possible.
Blessed with that. Shout out to Coach Klasky for allowing us to go experience that. And obviously, we did not. It was 2 hours out the way where we were.
Really?
Yeah. So it was another 2-hour bus ride away from New York City, and we did not have to do that. It was a great experience, and I'm happy we were able to do it.
Shout out to AD.
Shout out to AD. Shout out to Stu.
Yeah, it's fast.
Well, did you guys know, like, leading up to that, was it like, okay, we're doing this, or did it kind of?
Yeah. So I think like 2 weeks before, it was like we might go to Duke, and then we got our itinerary for the trip a week before, and that's when we saw everything was on there. We also had a crazy dinner at one of the Duke, like I don't know
Where they had their team meals.
Yeah, we're Duke men's basketball their team meals. Cooked everything up for us. I think I had crazy like waffle with ice cream on top for dessert. It was crazy.
What was on the spread there? Gotta know.
Chicken Alfredo, salmon. So I think they had steak there too. They had everything. It was private. It was literally
private.
Yeah, private kitchen, top floor. You had a view of the city
Right.
of Durham. Shout out Sav.
Yeah.
919 legend. It was just an awesome experience, and that food was fire too. It was fire.
Yeah. I mean, that's good, but I mean, do they have Joe's Pizza? Didn't think so. You know, so.
Did not see any. Did not see a Joe's out there.
But you mentioned Coach Gibbs at the Chicago game.
Yep.
Of course, like you said, big win for you guys. Not only because it's super tough to win on the road in the UAA period, but a real bounce back from that tough game up in Brandeis.
Right.
I wasn't gonna, not talk about that.
Of course.
Because it's all part of the process, right? But just wondering, like in that week, right? Like in between, a tough loss at Brandeis and then the toughest road trip of the season.
Absolutely.
How do you prepare? How do you bounce back mentally, physically, and just get yourself right to then go to Chicago or St. Louis right after that?
We just had to put it behind us. I mean, I remember the first practice after the Brandeis game. It was ultra competitive.
Intense.
Exactly, intense is the best way to describe it. You could tell we were all pretty upset about the Brandeis loss that never should have happened.
Yeah.
But I think it was like a good, mental reset for us because leading up to the UA, it was kind of like, are we good? Like, we don't know. And then we get that ranking, the top 25, and we're like, oh, like, we're actually good. Like, no, we're not. We have so much to prove going forward. So it was kind of like I knew we were going to win in Chicago. Like, there's no way we win. We lose 2 straight. On the road, you always want to split at least, and we did that. And leading into this weekend, this is probably our hardest weekend in UA. Emory's a really good team. We're going to play faster, which is more aligned with the way we play. So I think it'll be a good matchup for us. And then Rochester's not any easier. So we just got to protect home court and keep going.
Yeah, I'd say like exactly what Cinqué said. Like it was just intense. We knew, and also the chatter about last year's team and how we also had a really great non-conference record, and then it took us 9 games to get a UA win. So we definitely heard that chatter. We had to just shut that down quick. We know how talented this team is, what we're capable of doing. Even though we're like an undersized team, we're hard to guard for other teams. They got to guard us the same way we got to guard them. So that was a huge thing for us, and I wish we could have got that Wash UW as well, but just some unforeseen circumstances happened. I'm not going to go into, but Chicago hotel food just not good. It's not good for you. But yeah, and like this weekend, 2 top 25 teams.
That's right. Yeah.
Ready to go. So we're going to make another statement.
Rochester at 7 as it stands today, and Emory at 18.
Yeah.
And
So
you guys were right there too. So.
exactly.
Yep. And then Wash is now the rankings, I believe. Like you said.
They got to come.
Yeah,
to New York
Washington's
City.
at 22.
They got to come to New York City. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see for sure.
Well, we were talking about it a little bit before. I mean, playing in Brooklyn, again, the circumstances are ones that are unfortunate and beyond anyone's control. But playing in Brooklyn is the fact of the matter. However, it does prove to be like a little bit of a competitive advantage, though.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the numbers.
Look at the numbers, man.
Shoot the heck out the ball in Brooklyn.
Yeah, those gray walls, bro.
Oh, yeah.
The depth perception.
Got the new bleachers, so I don't want to say I'm excited to be back in Brooklyn, but we play well there. And I mean, I joked about it a lot. I was like, if we go to Mercer, and that was supposed to be this Friday, right, and lose our first game, I want to go back to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like, we play well there, so.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been hard going to the Mercer, no practice, no on-court time there, just straight to the game. That would have been tough. So I'm happy we know what happens in Brooklyn. You know, we've been there all year, multiple years. So
Undefeated at home this year.
undefeated at home.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like we on the administrator side, like appreciate your, just like resilience. But we also admire the resilience too. Right? Like we talk about it as a staff. Like you talk about COVID and your high school experience, how it affected your recruiting experience, etc. And bro, we were just as excited. We obviously so feel for you and your tight time here, but yeah, like roll with the punches. Right? Deal with the hand of cards that you're dealt with. That's what New Yorkers do.
Yeah, control your damage. Control. That's a big part, and we're excited about next year opening up Mercer and having those games in there. And welcoming New York City to our home, our new home. So. I just hope we get in there soon, right? Yeah,
I mean, I'll also say this: if there's a silver lining, right? Like, yeah, obviously there's just no sugarcoating. It sucks that we can't open this weekend. Period. What I will say, silver lining wise, is for us on the prep side, in order to maximize your experience, like we can do unbelievable stuff with the video boards. We can do unbelievable stuff for just the entire experience that we provide for you guys, whether it be for practice or for a game. That maybe low-key would have felt rushed if I'm being a little transparent. Like the artwork on the walls, right? The way in which you walk in and experience that. Now, if we have the summer to work with, right? Like when you come in this fall, outside, okay, you know what? Maybe it was worth the wait. Right? I know you have again such a tight slither here, but
right.
Like, looking ahead, I think it'll be clear that we want to get it right.
Yeah, no, I fully second that. I mean, there's a lot of bells and whistles in that building. There's a lot of cool stuff going on that all of us, myself, Kyle, still needs to like wrap our heads around and totally maximize. We don't want to shortchange you guys on your experience there. So, like I said, in a lot of ways, it'll be worth the wait and get a really fun full season.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to that. And just want to say we appreciate everything you guys have done for NYU athletics so far, and you guys' time here. It's been great to see this community come together. You guys shed light on the athletes that do go to NYU and are working their asses off. So thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, you guys are the audience. You guys are who we do it for, right? Like beyond the student athletes, the NYU community, and then a little trash talking in there as well against the other conference.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
On the topic of UAA play, the UAA slate is a grind, right? Like for baseball, it's like 4 games in 3 days. I don't know how they do it. For you guys, it's 2 games in 3 days, like every weekend, right? Like that grind. How did you how do you continue to mentally prepare for that? How do you handle, treatment or recovery of your body, et cetera?
So the way it works is we start our scouts on Wednesday for our Friday games. So the Wednesday, Thursday scout, game Friday, and then when you're on the road, it's very tough, because you have to do that. Like just talk about last weekend, for example, we went from Chicago to St. Louis. That was like a 4-hour bus ride. So 8 a.m. the next day after the game, we're on the bus, and that's really tough on the body. And we had the normal techs out on the bus, we had massage guns out on the bus, people standing up in the aisle trying to stretch, like keep their legs loose. Yeah. So like it's just a lot that goes into it, and it is tough mentally. But there's a task at hand, next game. Right. So. We do not get as much time to scout the next team as I wish we had, but they don't have that. They play the same schedule we are, so it works both ways, and it's always tough. And I think this first one was a really good wake-up call for all of us and the guys that on the team who have not been able to experience a UA weekend like this before. Because our first game was just a Saturday game, it wasn't a Friday, Sunday. So it was a lot of people's first time for even our coaching staff, and they're going to prep. Get better from it. We're gonna get better from it. So it's a grind, man. It really is.
Yeah, just like recovery, being intentional with everything. Staying hydrated, like getting your sleep in. Especially for me, like I'm getting older. I gotta take care of my body a little bit more than I used to.
So you tell us.
And like you said, we have 3 days to kind of prep for a Friday game, 1 day for the Sunday game, and it's just. Being focused and not letting that affect us. We need to be just as prepared for that game Sunday as we are Friday. And I think when we're on the road and even when we're home, we treat this as a full-time job, especially right now, not being in school.
I feel like a professional athlete.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty nice.
We have nothing else to do, so there's no excuses there.
Right.
Like he said, I let you guys do the same for us. But I think with our coaching staff, we're a little bit better at it. So
100%. I think like our Saturday looked like I think we had to film like 2 or 3 times on Saturday alone, just like watching their clips, seeing what they do.
Sunday morning, I think.
Sunday morning we had to film at breakfast, so like it's just a lot that goes into it. And shout out to our coaches again for preparing us the best they possibly can. And I just can't wait to see what happens this weekend. I'm excited.
On the preparedness front, it was the women's basketball episode that I remember asking them about, like, something that's like an example of a really, really micro scouting item that they picked up for like the opposition. And it was you guys that were in here. I was leaving, you were coming in, and it was you, Zay, that you were like, when 17 gets the ball and he drives right, he's always shooting. But like even more micro than that. Is there anything like maybe like an example that you guys have? Obviously, I got to name a name. Of
Yeah, no
play,
names.
but,
I'd say probably like we go down to like their go-to move.
Okay.
When the shot clock hits 10 and they get the ball, what's their go-to moves? And then one of them's like he's going left, spinning back right, or going right, spinning back. Either one of those. I forgot which one it was, but that type of stuff.
Yeah, like with that, I mean, knowing what guys like to do, like late in the shot clock, what they're most comfortable with, and then we're on the defensive side trying to put them in the most uncomfortable position, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's a kid at Brandeis, that's a really good player, but he wants to go left and he wants to do a one dribble pull up left, or maybe do a step back left. So force him right. He can go right, but he wants to go left. We all have our pet move, whatever. I don't know where Coach Clancy got that from.
Pet move.
You bring that up one day in practice, you were like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think we saw on our scouting report, like the heck is a pet?
Right.
We figured it out, but the first that from pet move.
Aye.
So let's say you guys are playing each other, not one-on-one, but like let's say, it's like white versus purple in practice.
Yeah.
Shot clock hits 10, Cinqué, Zay has the ball, and you're guarding him, right? What's his go-to move?
Probably a sidestep going right.
Sidestep.
Yeah, he's shooting at 30. Yeah, he's not going to blow past you. He can, but he's not going to.
And vice versa?
Cinqué is going to do, I think.
Never know.
First of all, with Cinqué's season, you never know what he's going to do with the ball.
Deep bag.
He has a really deep bag, but I'd say he's going to attack you downhill, try to go in and out cross, see how you react to that, and that's what's going to determine either he pulls up or he's going to the rack. That's my scouting report.
Good to in and out for sure.
Yeah.
It's unguardable. I can tell anyone watching this, I'm in Rochester, I'm going to in and out, shoot and transition in the half court, and you can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
Very
It also
simple.
sets up other moves too.
Right.
So.
And also, you guys brought up the women's team. Shout out to the women's team. They've also helped set a standard for NYU basketball. They've been top ranked all year. They're going to bounce back after that tough weekend this weekend, but they're going to bounce back even stronger. They got really talented players out there, and coaching staff is amazing. They're really nice to us. They even help us out sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's been great to travel with them, see them work, and yeah, they go hard, man. They go really hard.
Anything either of you have picked up from a Meg, a Nettie, Audrey, like etc. When like maybe they see something that like while their practice is ending and you're stepping on them.
Right. I don't think it's anything like directly but it's just seeing how they go about themselves, how they hold themselves to a higher standard, how they react, even in games, like how they react to certain calls or stuff like that. They keep their composure, and that's something we see and we want to incorporate into our program too. So, shout out Jenny Walker, best player in the country, 2-3.
2-3. Someone 2-3. Feel that. One thing I didn't have on here. The sneaker choices you guys both make in game. Like what's important to you? You know what I'm saying? Like I'd just be curious because I see you switch it up a couple times already.
I started off the season wearing the Jordan 29s.
Yeah.
Those have been sentimental for me for a while because I played in those when I was back in middle school, high school. My pops got them for me, and then I fell in love with them. So I wanted to bring it back for college. Just bring that little kid feeling back.
It's kind of sentimental. Component to it.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
fire.
And then I have so many shoes.
You rocked the Kobe. I saw during was it Rona?
Yep. I rocked the Kobe. Yep, the Protros. And then I got the GTs. Those are the most comfortable shoes. GT2s. Those are so comfortable. So I like to wear those. Those are that's good.
I kept it simple this year. Like I used to be crazy about it in high school, but since I got to college, I kept it much simpler. But I was on FaceTime with my mom last night. She was going for my sneaker closet. So I got some heat. I have some shoes in the closet right now. I'm debating whether I want to wear them for the game tonight. Those are some crazy shoes, but I think I'm gonna start getting back to my roots and being myself a little bit more with them.
Yeah, shoes. Love it.
Yeah, I used to play like Jordan and stuff in high school. Like I played in foam posits when I was in like 8th grade.
I might rock some 11s next week.
What colorway?
We'll see.
Okay, gotcha.
I was a big Aqua 8s.
Yeah.
Those are still probably my favorite Jordans. The Aqua 8s.
Just know this: whenever you bring out those flavors with, like, particularly off court, with the New Yorker standing on the street corner and asks, "Those are nice. What size are those?"
No.
Just say my size. My size.
Hey, you got some joints on right now that I gotta see the size.
Say it's on to your uncle who hosts a sneaker podcast, one that I've been listening to. That's why. So it's actually pretty funny. I shouldn't have started with this. I think you know this story.
Mm-hmm.
I was once standing in the equipment room this last year, beginning of September. Like I literally just showed up to campus like a month prior. I was starting to work here. Zay also had just shown up, walked into the equipment room, and there's a sneaker podcast that I listen to. It's exactly that. They literally talk about sneakers. And they're based in Arizona, but it was like the May or the April prior where he was like, yo, shout out to my nephew, Zay, I'm so proud of him, man. I got him these Jordan 11s, XYZ. He's going to go to NYU. And then so like I remember that when I actually got the job. And then sure enough, he just walked to the equipment room and I was like, yo, are you Zay? Like, you have an uncle?
This random guy approached me and was like, yo, I know your uncle. I was like,
That's not the first time I've gotten that.
Yeah.
That was definitely the first time. Yeah, man.
It was awesome. Yeah, it's connected ever since, so it's been awesome.
Cinqué, we would be remiss. Who wants to be remiss if we didn't talk about the USA basketball experience? Tell us about what it was and then how it was.
Big time.
Yeah, so that was fun. I was able to go to Spain this past summer. I think a little over a week. Played 3, maybe 4 games there. It was a lot of high major guys on the team. We had a mini camp up at Columbia. I remember that was my first time meeting the coaching staff here. I met Coach Mo and CT up there. And I was like, sitting there talking with the guys. Jalen Blake said, dude, we were pretty close. We still talk every day. And he's like, hey, those your coaches? I'm like, I think so. I don't have I have like an NYU shirt on, I guess so.
Yeah, just fans.
Yeah, so it was fun playing against those guys. Kind of sparked my love for basketball. Because after last season, I really wasn't sure if I was going to come back or not. And then after playing in that, I was like, man, I miss this like competitiveness. And I kind of said, I was like, take away, the schools behind us. I mean, it was kind of like I can play with these guys. We went over there, won every game. Great experience. Still talk to a lot of those guys are still in the group chat. But it was a fun experience for me, and I think that's kind of what has led to my success this year, just because it was kind of like something, kind of re-sparked that I have something to prove again on the basketball court. Like I had a purpose behind it. So.
Got a little follow-up for Cinqué. What's your favorite city to play in?
Favorite city? Like UAA or like all the time?
Give us both.
Both UAA and all time.
This year is going to be Case. I can't wait to play Case this year. Hasn't people coming to that game? Not going to say who. But generally speaking, I like Atlanta, man. It's just like energy. It's back towards the south, so like I might feel closer to home. I have a lot of family in Atlanta, so for me it's kind of like a home game. So I love playing. I hate playing home games. I love away games. Like this year, Chicago, the crowd was getting pretty rowdy.
They were talking
for sure. And I was
Have
like,
any good chirps? Any of the UAA schools have any good chirps?
Well, it was hard last year because COVID. No fans. Literally no fans. So it was our first go around.
So what was Chicago's trash talking, like 1 to 10?
I say they were loud, so I'll give them.
all time like a 6.
Yeah, the chirps weren't good, but it was like
It was nothing personal, right? Like in high school, it was like they knew you were dating.
They knew exactly.
Like they knew random
Instagram highlights.
Yeah, they should never have known. All the time I like playing in Florida. Though.
Fire.
Played a lot of tournaments in Florida growing up.
Don't think I've ever played in Florida actually.
Really?
Never played in Florida. Been in Florida one time. Shout out HP. Spring break. Sarasota, Florida.
You guys just hanging out?
Just hanging out.
Okay.
Just hanging out. Just, yeah.
You got a favorite road city to play in?
I really like Pittsburgh for some reason. We would go play Carnegie Mellon. I think Pittsburgh's dope. I think I saw like the Steelers. The Steelers like that big outdoors, like that open stadium. I think that was really dope. Seeing that, and we walked around there for a little while. And I thought that was really cool. All-time city, Vegas.
Oh, that's.
Okay.
I forgot. That's a good one.
Living in Arizona, we went to Vegas routinely for tournaments and games and stuff like that. So
In Vegas, is it like the venues that you play at, or is it more so just like the tournaments and the atmosphere of those games?
I think it's just. I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah, because the gyms aren't anything like spectacular.
Right,
the gym
But it's
is
like,
pretty good.
you ask anyone that played basketball growing up, they definitely went to Vegas at some point.
Right. Yeah. I think the gyms are like on the outskirts of Vegas, like local high school gyms and stuff like that. Bishop Gorman, which is one of
Bishop Gorman, for sure.
one of the biggest name high schools. Which is like, I don't know, man. I've had some really big games in Vegas. My dad, ever since I was little, my dad's called me Mr. Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I just had some big
That's
games in
funny.
Vegas.
My career high was in Vegas.
What was it?
What was
40?
it? Nah.
Am I higher?
Higher.
46.
52.
52 ball. Did you go James Harden with 25 free throws?
I was like 16 threes.
Oh, damn.
Something crazy.
And only now you learn how to get your feet set. Pretty good.
They were off the dribble. They were hezzy threes back then. I'm a fundamental player.
Right. Actually, I was thinking about, like, you were talking about Vegas. I was like, damn, we're like, they out here hooping in ballrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it.
Yeah.
They do that sometimes. There are some tournaments that do that.
Is there like a unique, like, what's the like most unique place you've played? You know, it could have been somewhere that wasn't even a basketball gym that was adapted into one, or one that was just like a really cool setup where it was like all glass windows. Like for me, I played like high school basketball, and there was this one spot in Harlem. I forget the name of the school, but like the court is like on a lower level, and then like if you look up, it's like wall, and then if you look up, just like these like 15-foot glass windows, like sidewalk, street level, and so they were just mad people.
Yeah, you
It's
can
like
see
looking
down.
into the spot.
For me, it was in Barcelona this summer. But it's like it was kind of weird, like Euro feel type of gym. I felt like Alex Matuchik, like it was.
Yeah.
Shout out Alex.
These European guys
Shout out.
like aren't athletic, but you know play the game super well, know how to play together. And the crowd was just crazy. Like they love basketball. You know, afterwards you're taking pictures of people, signing autographs. Like it was a really cool experience.
What was the name of that gym? Do you remember?
I could not pronounce
Gotcha,
it.
gotcha.
It was like a 2-hour bus ride from our hotel, like
Yeah.
out there.
Oh wow.
Like
Alex
raining. Alex what?
Or sorry, I was just gonna say Alex has like an unreal Kobe collection.
Oh.
Yeah,
he's hard to
super. And he's also playing professional too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is.
Shout out him.
How about you, Zay? What's unique place you play?
It's probably the craziest gym I ever played. It was like carpet. It was like carpet. It's literally carpet gym. It's like it's a random like AAU game. I was just trying to get my wind up. I think
So the surface right now.
The surface right now. I was going between Hezzy.
I guess the grip's good.
I mean, I guess.
I stayed off the floor that game for sure.
Yeah,
There's a lot of threes that game. No, yeah, it was crazy,
That's wild. Yeah, rug burn would have hurt more than court burn. Court burn's rough though.
bro.
Nick Whip has some right now.
I have one right now in my head, and I roll over the wrong way in bed right now. It's, But yeah, I mean, put sacrificing your body for the betterment of the team. So yeah, that's how you gotta look at it.
Yeah, right. Kai, we asked this to women's basketball. Is there a player that you've seen make like a really, really big jump in their game, like improvement-wise? It could have been just from this season. It could have been over the last 2 seasons. Maybe it could be yourself, right? But like somebody that has made like a really, really steep improvement in their abilities on court.
I want to give a big shout out to Hope Shinsky, number 5 on our team. He worked his ass off this summer to come back, and he was like a completely different person.
Yeah,
He got his head big. Sure.
we didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Straight up, no idea.
Yeah, he came back. You know, we knew coming into the season we were going to be a smaller team, and he took it upon himself to really work and gain muscle. That's the biggest part. And
Has like 3 or 4 chase down blocks, blocked it dunk this year. Like,
Say that.
yeah,
he
he
got
does.
so strong over the
Yeah,
offseason.
so strong. And he knows he's not the typical 5 man that you see. But he's put his pride to the side and really just bought into the program and what we need. So big shout out to Holt.
Yeah, really big job. That's a good call.
This is a weird one. It might be a hot take, but Eric Brashadsky. Like this
Rick.
year, this year in practice, we see like what Rick was like in high school, like stupid athlete. It's weird. It's so he's so unassuming. Like he's about to be an investment banker next year. He's like we windmilled like with his left hand, like while we were like in WashU.
Oh my gosh.
We were in Chicago. I forget which game. It was just kind of like who is this kid? Like yesterday, he was tearing up Savage. I'm pretty sure.
Torching
From probably the whole team. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Eric. So I'm gonna go with Eric. Probably it's just because he cares more this year, but that kid can play.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking through his bio. Plans to attend grad school and work in the business field. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, he gonna be
JP
working.
Morgan.
Yeah, he gonna be working like real
4
nice.
months.
24.
For sure. Nice.
I think also HP too. HP 15. He really worked this summer too. It's been a big junior year for him. He's been our starter, starting at the 4. He's had a great year too.
Yeah. Hey, he's never had a hair follicle out of place, HP. I think, does he take great care of it in the locker room?
HP tells you something like, yo, I just got to cut. Like, I can't even tell.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah, he
just,
strikes me.
it's just always, it's always just perfect, I guess.
Is there anyone on the team that has kind of like ridiculous bounce where you're like, I had no idea you had that? Like,
Cinqué, whenever he's feeling, I'd say 80%.
yeah. And then would it be Eric for you? Since you just threw that one.
Yeah, because I had heard about it, but I'd never seen it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to put myself up there. Like I'm gonna have to.
Sure.
I might have the most bounce. I think that's Zay Freeney, but I definitely have the best package. That's the best dunk package.
I don't think I have the most bounce at all. I think I just have the most in games this year so far. And it's literally just fast break, jump as high as you possibly can, and just throw it down one hand. That's all.
He's captain. Ask Brett in the training room. He has the numbers. He has the highest vertical.
Where?
Yes.
What's that number?
38.
It was right outside the 40, yeah, 38.
I was gonna say,
38 and a half.
so
40.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been repeatedly tested.
Kai, I just have one last one. I don't know if you have any, but I just have one last one. What's a moment or a shot that you've hit in your NYU career that you were the most hyped after? Right? It could have been a dunk, even if it wasn't even a close game. It could have been a dunk. The fact that you threw it down could have been a big shot. I think of one for you last year.
Same.
Yeah, the shot that you were just most hyped up about ever hitting.
I think just last year at home versus WashU when I was able to put the game away. That was actually I had 2 big shots that weekend. I had one into the OT versus Chicago. That was a big one. And then I followed it up with that Sunday game versus Wash, step back corner 3 to put it away.
That's a weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend. I think just from there, like that actually helped me get my confidence. It's like, I belong here. Like, I can really do this. I can be a key player in this league.
On the note of that WashU shot, it's funny because I can remember that because I was in the stats. And I remember you because I was on the left side of the table and that was on the far basket. So I was like, I couldn't even see you. All I saw was like Wash jerseys. I saw the ball go, I was like, no way. And then it went in, and I had to keep it together. But I was like, what?
Yeah, I got to switch onto their big man in the corner, and I knew the shot clock was winding down, so I knew I didn't have enough time to get to the rim. I knew I didn't have enough time to get him off balance and maybe get a step back.
Yeah.
And it felt good, went in, and that was a huge shot for me personally.
I kind of have 2 from like last year. Last year in the season, I shot 25% from 3, shooting forward. But what I did in practice did not indicate that. I shot the ball. I would like to think, I just wanted to shoot. I wasn't used to shooting, catch, and shoot 3s in college. Yeah. But I was on this. It was at Carnegie Mellon, and I'm right in front of their bench, and I don't know who was guarding me, but their coach and the players were like, step off, like a driver, not a shooter. So I catch it, jab at him, hit a 3, right? And then it was 2 positions later, hit another 3, and I turned around and I was like, I'm gonna shoot. And then the other big one was at Case Western last year, where I wasn't shooting 3s, I passed open ones, and that was our first. That was probably our 3rd win.
That was
It was a big win. It was a big win, but it was
our first one. I think
that was the first one.
That was the first one, yeah. So
first
it was
conference win. Yeah.
I don't know if it was a dagger 3, but it was towards the end of the second half, and it was on a kick out, and just caught a rhythm, shot it, made it, and it was it might have been the first 3 I made all season. To be honest,
huge shot by Cinqué Stevens.
Nick McCartchick ran, jumped, and hit me in the air and I fell over. Everyone's like freaking out because I just hit a 3. So that was kind of like, that was a good
I remember I played like we just rattled in. We were like, let's go! Like it was a huge shot. It was a huge shot for us, and that I think Cinqué's play really led us to finish the season out on the right hand.
It was tied 64-64 at the 2:25 mark, and you hit that 3 off a Hawkinson pass.
Yeah, sure.
You made all the time out.
Yeah.
And then you hit a couple free throws later to ice it.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't know that.
Like that. Like that. Like that.
Yeah.
That's fire. That's fire.
Um,
I want to ask you guys, what's been your guys' favorite moment, athletic-wise, that you've seen? I know you guys have been all over the place covering NYU athletic all year, so.
I have the answer. Like, you mean here?
Yeah, here.
Okay. I had something else, but I'll go here. Let me think about that. Well, I mean, last year going with the women's basketball team, I traveled with them.
Yeah.
To the Elite Eight. That was special. That was a lot of fun. And like that game, like that Hope game was just crazy. Talking about it.
Yeah, I remember
that
watching that online.
Me too. Yeah, I remember watching that online.
Yeah.
What a gym.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely been some like OT soccer games like really last year when they had OT, which I think NCAA bring that back. Anyway,
Right.
Like especially the Carnegie Mellon game. Nate Bennett hit the game winner, and then there was some fireworks afterwards as far as some chatter, which is crazy. So that's a big one.
Soccer is hilarious.
And actually, when we hosted the women's tournament last year, the Bates Roger Williams game, not NYU was playing, but Bates hit the most insane game winner.
Because we hosted, yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
So
it was like a baseball pass. It was like LeBron against the Wizards. You remember that baseball pass? Turn around right wing.
Yeah.
A turnaround base,
Just like-
falling into the bench.
Yeah.
She did the same thing.
It's insane.
It was unreal.
It's insane.
Like literally just off the sideline.
Yeah,
That was wild. That was a wild moment. For me, I mean, I've watched so much on live streams. Let's go.
I think for you was that going to the cross country.
That's exactly what my answer was going to be.
10 degrees.
Cross country. I know. I should have brought a sled. Straight up. It was straight up snowing. And I was like, y'all about to run in this? I was like, I'm not even taking out my camera for this. Which I did. But, I mean, having an All-American in cross country, I mean, that's pretty gas. Grace Richardson, shout out. Came from Ireland, and she was like, no, doesn't get this cold in Ireland. And I was like,
That was crazy. That was good.
And yeah, I mean, she like top 40 get All-American. She got 37. It all counts the same. You know what I'm saying? But no, that was a pretty cool moment for me. Just because like I was in person, it was my first NYU trip. I've traveled with many collegiate teams before at previous institutions, but like there's always obviously something special about like your first trip and stuff. So for me to get to see that in person was pretty dope. I mean, I have like 3 rules when it comes to being the admin traveling with the team. A, don't be late, or rather 1, don't be late. 2, shut up, because sometimes like you hang around coaches and you think you can start coaching, right? And then 3, like just get out of the way, like straight up. Like, you want to be there, but also like not be in the way.
No, get out of the way is the biggest one for me. Like, but finding the balance of that, like still being involved, still being hands-on, but with my stuff. You know what I mean?
Kai, you were great. You were great when you came with us.
Hey, it was fun, but it was quick.
Yeah.
Quick, man. We need a real one.
Exactly.
We need a real one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, that was cool. I was glad to have that experience. I do want to shout out. Cinqué's been flexing on us this whole time, so I want to flex a little bit. Okay. Not flex, but the sports moment that I saw. I was working the Nets game with KD, his big toe on the line. Turned around. So I remember, like, and when I'm working, like, we are not supposed to be. We're not like fans, right? But you know everybody through that other door.
Absolutely.
For the playoffs. So that, like, he hit that shot, the whole place. I mean, that's like the best sports moment I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
The whole place, I'm jumping up and down, and then it's a 2, and it's like,
I watched that at Off the Wagon. I watched that there.
I watched the
packed house.
Team USA get waxed.
Yeah. Well, we can say that because we are 21. So, whatever. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Do you have anything else for our guests here?
All I have is get a couple dubs this week.
Man,
Right.
Let's go.
Let's
do it.
you're making turns here, man. We're making it.
Yeah, I hope so, man. We're trying to get some more travel plans in the itinerary.
Absolutely.
Saying.
Kyle, what's that? baseball thing you do. What's the thing called? It's like
What pros wear.
what pros wear.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
That
Thanks for
is
bringing it up.
yeah.
Yeah, there's this dude that started this Instagram and website. It's called What Pros Wear, and it's exactly that. It's like the gear and the accessories and all the stuff that the players wear. And so he does like these custom arm sleeves, and like you can put your number or initials or whatever embroidered on there. So I made an order, and then he peeped my name, and he knew that I was a follower since 2009 when he launched it, because like I'm like such a geek about that stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, like since you're based in New York, if you want to just interview the players like before the games and stuff, I think that'd be dope. So I'm like, yo, what? Like, it talks about like, you know, like talking to people like idolize and stuff. Insane. So yeah, man, that's super cool. It's also how I met. I mean, it's close to how we know a mutual person in Cole Tucker.
Yeah.
Major leaguer. He has some good service time in the league. So yeah, man, it's more.
That's what Cole. That's like a big brother. Man.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope. Cole's the man, bro. Like you talk about like sneaker collections, he has a crazy glove collection.
God.
Like baseball gloves, like yes, there is such a thing. He has some like limited one-of-one stuff. So I'm gonna have to connect with him.
What's it like just interviewing like these major leaguers and just?
Yeah, I mean, Kai talks about striking the balance. I try to do that as well. It's like, yo, at the end of the day, like humanize them, right? They're people just like us. Like we all have each met and interacted with many, like ultra super,
Absolutely.
like professional athletes. At the same time, don't be too casual with them. But then it's also wild to fathom that they have like 177 million dollars in their account right now. You know, but like, you know, you try not to let that like jade you. Like at the end of the day, I'm there to talk about their gear. I don't have any gotcha questions. I'm not TMZ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's none of that.
Friendly encounter.
Yeah, so it's cool, man. That's really cool.
That's dope, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Dope.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
For
Thank
sure.
you guys. Enjoyed it.
No,
It's
this
been
was
great.
awesome.
Yeah,
You guys were great.
episode.
You guys were great. I'm already thinking of, as I always do, like what clips are gonna go on Instagram. So you let us know how they think.
I think it's gotta be the AZ soft. Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
crazy. That was crazy. I can't get over that.
You and Rion.
I gotta post the part 2 to Spence's mic'd up actually. That's still
Yeah.
sitting in the back pocket.
Yeah, I'm happy I have a good mic up. Yeah, it might not be PG.
I was gonna say, maybe it's
I don't know. My mic up was crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I've looked at it a bit, but we gotta edit, do some
So I just thought it was an hour and a half, 2 hours. You're gonna maybe get 15 minutes. That's
I mean, that's good. That's plenty of content for us.
Yeah.
All right, yo, to everybody who just listened to Silence Behind the Violets podcast, episode number 7, with men's basketball, Cinqué Stevens and Zay Freeney. Appreciate y'all. Keep it locked to GoNYUathletics.com, at NYU Athletics on all social platforms. Appreciate y'all.
Roll Violets.